everyone, my name is Lorena. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video on my top 7 tips for traveling with a baby and or toddler. Tip number 1, I would highly recommend for you to use Ziploc bags to help you pack. I use the Ziploc bags to store hair ties, hair bands, hairbrush all in one bag. If you have a little girl, this is a great way to have all the accessories that you're going to use for your little girl in a way for you not to lose them. Because so for example, me, when I would take my daughter a bath in the morning on our trip, I would use the hairbrush and then choose something that I was going to use on her hair that day. Then at the end of the day, I would put it back in the bag. I know some of them are really nice and really expensive. At least I like to splurge sometimes on a few, especially for vacation, because you know you want those extra cute pictures. Also for packing, I put all their little socks in a Ziploc bag like this, just because they're so tiny and they can get lost in that big luggage. Fit easily a 2 weeks worth of socks if you have that many. That's something I would do. I would put like 10 socks, one for each day of our trip. Every time I travel, I also take a special bag for medication. I take Tylenol with me. My daughter suffers from eczema, so I take her eczema medication, anything that you know that will be helpful. This pink one I've used for medication on all of our trips every time we go. As you can see right here, I have a syringe and this one, the dropper. Before you go on a trip, check again, has it expired? Do you need to toss something, replenish for your next trip? This is a good idea to don't forget your medication and store them in the bag. They sell them as a pack of 4, I can't remember, they're all color coordinated, and they even have here like a diaper in it, and this one has like clothes with like dirty clothes brand here. I just know that I use the pink one for medication, and this one too. Once my daughter was starting to get older and I didn't want to take that big diaper bag, I would just put 1 or 2 diapers here and the wipes, and that was it. If you do want to invest in something like this, if not, use a Ziploc bag, it's totally fine. One other thing that you can bag are the toys. I take something like this with me, especially if they're under a year. Penelope, who's right now 6 months old, we did take a trip already with her a couple months ago, and I took a little bag like this with some of her favorite toys. I knew that she was gonna be wanting to put things in her mouth, so I took things like this, rings, keys. This bag is from Love Every, so if you do have the subscriptions, you know you get a ton of little bags like this, so just reuse them for your trip. Tip number 2, something that I always use on trips is my bobby. I always take it with me because I breastfeed, and that helps me a lot. So if you're a breastfeeding mama and you usually use your pillow, this is something that your baby's going to be familiar with. And because you have that pillow, they come up higher, and you have one hand for their head and then your other hand is free. You can do whatever you want with your other hand. That has been a lifesaver for me. I find it really comfortable to travel this way with the bobby. You would think one more item for traveling, yes, but another thing, going into my number 3, take the stroller with you. I've traveled with my upper baby since day 1. We've taken about 5 trips already, and so it's been great because I have the upper baby Vista, and it has a large compartment underneath the stroller, and I can store the traveling bag, which I have a video on that too. If you're not sure if you should get it or how to use it, I have a video if you want to watch that. Under the stroller, I put my bobby, I put my diaper bag in there, everything fits. I just have my baby on the stroller, and I push down to TSA. TSA does make you take everything out, of course, and even take the stroller apart into 2. That's not such a big deal. It takes like 2 extra minutes. Once you do make it to the waiting room, then you can just take out the bobby, take out your traveling bag, and put the stroller into its bag, check it in. And within the bobby bag, this is a little hidden trick tip, I would say. I kept the original bag from the bobby. So it was a bobby, you know, it has that hold, it's like a donut. So there I put the bag of toys just in case I needed the toys to distract her once she did wake up. I had a little blanket in there, so everything that I would need to get comfortable once I did make it to my seat without having to put everything in my diaper bag and then try to find things while I was there. So nobody's really gonna tell you to take those things out. Nobody really checks the bobby, and you have the right to take the bobby apart from your carry-ons. If you're traveling international, also you can ask for the bassinet. Don't forget, if you are traveling international, you can request in advance through your airline the bassinet that they have in their airplane, so that your baby can be lay there in front of you. It's really nice. There is an age limit. I would check. I think it depends on every airline, and have that extra time without them being on the floor, and for them to have that little movement on such a long trip. Tip number 4. In my diaper bag, what I do carry, of course, the diaper, the wipes, but also a change of clothes for myself and a change of clothes for my baby. Why? Because I do like to take my baby comfortable as we're leaving the house to the airport. Maybe just a simple onesie, you know, short, maybe it's hot in LA. And then once you do get to that waiting room, you want to put socks on your baby, you want to change it into a zipper onesie, or maybe you just want to add on the pants. Once your baby is inside the plane, maybe they have a blowout and you need another change of clothes, you know, take an extra onesie for that. Take an extra shirt for yourself, an extra t-shirt in case something does happen. You don't want to make it extra heavy, but you do want to have the things that you will need just in case, to be well prepared. So for tip number 5, I would recommend that you purchase some noise canceling headphones for your baby and toddler, especially when I would say they're under 2. If they're used to sleeping in silence, something like this can help in the plane. I personally don't use it for the plane or for sleeping, but if we do happen to need them, this is also what I carry in my diaper bag, because you just never know. If I need it, I have it right there. Tip number 6 would be also try to do your trip in the time of a nap, so that they have a good stretch of sleep in the plane, and that minimizes the time that you have to entertain them while they're in the plane. You're gonna take off during the time that your baby usually takes a nap. We've also done international flights that leave usually around 7 or 8. And that's when our daughters usually go to bed at 7 and 8. She was awake to be there for that first meal, but then afterwards, we knew that it was going to be her time to go to bed, and she can just have a good night's sleep. You want to take something familiar with them that would cue them that it's nighttime, their lovey or a blanket or something like that. And lastly, for tip number 7, something that we didn't do this trip, to have entertainment for Juliet while she was in the airplane. She is now 2.5 years old. She was kind of bored for some period of times. We didn't know what to do with her. Next time we're traveling, for sure, we're going to take plenty of activities for Juliet. We're going to take her favorite movie. We're going to take some drawing stuff. We're going to take some sticker stuff, some, I don't know, some little puzzle that we can put together, some big pieces, some wooden stuff that is not too heavy, that you can carry on. So I hope these 7 tips help you prepare for your next trip, so that everything goes smooth from packing all the way to arriving to your destination. Remember to be patient, to enjoy it. A lot of people say, why travel with babies and with toddlers when they're not even going to remember? But more than anything, it's the time that you do spend together, is that they take away with them the feeling of happiness and unity, and they get to explore so much in a new setting. It's so worth it to take your babies to the beach, to the snow, to somewhere new, even on an airplane. I still vividly remember when we took our 4-month-old on our very first trip to Hawaii. Getting into the plane, her eyes were wide open, looking in everything, and I could just picture her little brain making all these connections. So if you can give this video a thumbs up, and also leave a comment. Let me know how your trip went. Let me know what tips work for you. Let me know of any new tip. Until next time, see you. Bye.